The best time to fast for a woman is right the last day or the next day after the period. Because when the period goes off, the woman is very low of estrogen. So the best time to fast for a woman is the exact last day. Not the last day, but the next day after the last day. Because, or maybe a couple days after the last day, but when the woman's body's at low of estrogen, fasting, and we're not talking about complete fast, but intermittent, where, okay, I'm fasting 8 to 12 hours of the day after my period. Because this allows the hormone that needs to activate to build more estrogen. The best time to fast is for a woman that next day after the period. Because this is when the body is building estrogen. Last day of the period, low estrogen, no estrogen. But fasting on the last day of the period, or the day after the last, allows your body to build that estrogen. And let's go to the source where I found this information. Fast Like a Girl by Dr. Mindy Pelz. This is not Dr. Mindy Pelz. No, she's not Dr. Mindy. This is a great book. Page 58. Your menstrual cycle. And here she goes to tell you what's happening during the menstrual cycle. Okay? This is great. This is great information. Right? So, the day of the period. This is the moment your body produces progesterone, the hormone that calms you and tells you everything is going to be okay. During this time of your cycle, you will often feel less aggressive, less irritable, and more like you want to sit on the couch and chill than go out and socialize. Progesterone's job is to prepare your uterine lining for a fertilized egg to implant post-ovulation, meaning after you ovulate. Depending on when you ovulate, your progesterone levels usually hit their peak 6 to 8 days after you ovulate. This means that if an egg released on day 14 of your cycle, your progesterone levels will be their highest around day 19, the day when you bleed. When you start building a fasting lifestyle, this last stage is the most important to be mindful of because progesterone is very influenced by cortisol. If estrogen thrives when insulin is low, you hear that? This is why you fast on the last day of your period, because that's when the estrogen thrives when the sugar is low. And progesterone thrives when cortisol is low. So there is a precursor steroid hormone called DHEA that you needed to make this progesterone. If during this phase of your monthly cycle, your cortisol spikes too much, you won't have enough DHEA to make progesterone. So this is why you have to keep your cortisol low. That thing that causes your stress is cortisol. This scenario is common and can lead to missed cycles, days of spotting, increased irritability, and trouble sleeping. How many years as women have we complained about our premenstrual symptoms when in reality, it's a simple function of not giving our body the right scenarios to make progesterone? There are many situations in our life that raise cortisol and can cause progesterone to plummet. Of course, there are the unavoidable traumas that happen throughout our lives. And since the larger stressors tend to happen unexpectedly, We can only course correct and bring our cortisol levels down as we move through these moments. But then we have other mild stressors that happen on a more regular basis that we can prepare for and make sure don't cause a dip in our progesterone. These include good stressors like exercise and fasting. Both of these health habits cause mild temporary rises in cortisol that, although ultimately support your body to adapt and build itself stronger, it can cause your progesterone levels to fall. This means good habits like exercising and fasting can cause your progesterone to fall. So she says, I encourage you to not fast the week before your period, as even minor healthy spikes of cortisol can tank your progesterone. This is especially important for perimenopausal women who still may have a cycle but also have age-appropriate declining progesterone levels. The other aspect of progesterone that you will want to be aware of as you build a fasting lifestyle is the influence glucose and insulin have over this miraculous calming hormone. Estrogen and progesterone, although both sex hormones, really require different behaviors from us. Estrogen doesn't seem as influenced by cortisol, but really suffers when glucose and insulin are high. Progesterone suffers when cortisol is high, but actually requires more glucose in your bloodstream to fully develop to the levels that are necessary for your period to start. If you fast during this time or restrict carbohydrates, you may not give progesterone the fuel it needs. So there you have it. You do not want to fast the week before your period. But the day after, that day 19 when you bleed, that week after you bleed, that last day, you want to start fasting. And if you're going to do it, get this book by Dr. Mindy Pelz, Fast Like a Girl. Happy Women's Day! And thanks for watching. Follow Oracle Candles on TikTok and Instagram for more information like this. And here, later on, we're going to create a new diet for the new earth and the new woman. No.